Hi everyone. So for the past week, you had been working on fractions on a number line, and yesterday you worked on an open middle problem about fraction number lines that made you really stretch your brain and think really deeply about fractions on a number line. So yesterday you had the chance to share with your classmates what you did, and today I'm going to show you how I would have solved this problem. Now we know there are a lot of different strategies that you can use to solve problems like this, so I'm just going to show you one. So the first thing I did was I made sure that I knew what the question was asking me. So I need to label where 3/4 goes on this number line. Then I see down here a hint. Can you figure out where 1 goes? Once we know that, can we use that to figure out where 3/4 goes? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find 1 on the number line. So I know that if I have 1/3 here, then my number line needs to be cut up into thirds from 0/3 to 3/3, which equals 1 whole. So I'm going to finish breaking this number line up into thirds right now, and then I'll be right back. So now you can see that I broke my number line up into thirds because I was able to break it up into those even pieces because I had already had one part done for me. So now that my number line is broken up into thirds, and I have 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, which is also equal to 1 whole, because we know that when we have all the parts of a whole, then it's equal to 1 whole. So now that I know this, I can go back and I can think to myself, what fraction is easy to work with in between 0 and 1 now that I know where 1 is on my number line that could help me to find 3/4? So I'm thinking that I'm going to add 1/2 on my number line because that's an easy fraction to work with. So I want to make sure that it's exactly halfway between 0 and 1. So now that I have it placed on my number line, I can put 1/2 right on here. 1/2. Okay. So now I have 1/2. Now, because we've been working with equivalent fractions, and because I know an equivalent fraction to 1/2, just like most of you probably do now, I also know that 1/2 is equal to 2/4. So now I'm going to throw that on my number line as well, so I can see that 2/4 is the same thing, is equivalent to 1/2. So those are at the same spot on the number line. So now this makes it a little bit easier. And I'm actually going to get rid of this so I don't get confused. So I have 2/4 right here now. Now I'm going to break up my number line into fourths. And I'm going to make these a different color just so you can see them more clearly, because I already broke it up into thirds and now I'm breaking up into fourths. Because now that I found this where 1/2 is, I have a fraction with the denominator of the fraction that I'm trying to place on the number line, 3/4. So it makes it a little bit easier. So I need to place these halfway between 1/2 and 0, or 2/4 and 0, and halfway between 2/4 and 1. And you just need to get as close as you possibly can. So now with the pink, I have my number line broken up into fourths on there as well. So now I can label those. So here on this first one, I can put that this pink line is 1/4. And then I already knew that this one is 2/4, because I know that that's equal to 1/2. So then this last pink one right here must be 3/4. And then this last one would be 4/4. So I could find 3/4 on the number line as long as I found 1 and broke that up into thirds. And then I was able to go back and break it up into the fourths so I could find 3/4. So right now I'm going to put a little star. I'm going to put that star on the number line where 3/4 is so I can plot my point on the number line. And there is 3/4. And if I wanted to take everything else off of the number line to make it easier to see and just see it with the first point that they gave me, I can do that as well. So if I look at my number line now, I just have one whole. Okay, I have my 0. I have 1/3, which was what I started with. And then I plotted 3/4 on my number line. So I know that was difficult, but I'm very proud of you all for not giving up yesterday. And we're just going to get better at this as we go. Great job.